Hello and welcome to Tiki Tuesday. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight for another exciting Tiki Tuesday. I hope you're having a good week. We're going to have a very good time tonight, hanging out, enjoying cocktails, talking about all things Tiki. Maybe I'll draw a little something too. That's probably in the cards, we know that. But I want to start out tonight talking about, I got a really cool cocktail gift box from Shaker and Spoon. And this is not a commercial. They're not paying me or anything. This is a real product that I'm trying. Hey, good to see you, Catherine. Thanks for joining us tonight. Did I hear it's your birthday? If so, happy birthday to you. I got this gift box from Shaker and Spoon. It's really cool. They send a list of the barware that you'll need to make the cocktails that are in the box. And this month, their box is Rums of the World. And they tell you everything that is included in your box. And basically it's everything except for the alcohol, right? Because they want to ship the alcohol through the mail, and you can pick your own favorite rums and make some cocktails. And so then, in addition to the list of what's inside, we get recipes for 3 different cocktails. And again, they've included everything needed to make these cocktails except for the rum. And it's enough to make 4 of each cocktail. And so I thought we'd try one tonight, and it's their version of the Hemingway. And I don't know if it's the Hemingway En Nica or En Nica, but I'm not good with the Latin there. But it's inspired by Nicaragua, so that'll give us a little bit of a hint. Oh, Catherine says thank you. Yeah, I hope you're having a great birthday. So this one, we'll try to get where you can see the recipe, but it's got rum and there's syrup and lime juice. They even included the lime and the bitters. And so we'll see that they included their own simple syrup there. Try to get that where you guys can see it real good. Oops, let me go the other direction there. It's all backwards for me. There we go. Okay. Hey, there we go. So there's the syrup, and then they even included their own bitters. And again, this is just for one cocktail. They actually sent stuff to make 3 different cocktails. So it's pretty cool. I thought we'd give it a try. So this is their version of Hemingway they're making. They even tell you what glass is the right glass for the cocktail, which is kind of cool. Can you see that there? Yeah. And all the instructions and everything. So I put a link in the chat. I don't get paid. That's not an affiliate or anything. But if you get one of their boxes and use my link, I get a discount off my next box. So that's there if you want to use it. But this is my first one. I thought I'd give it a shot, and it should be a lot of fun. So with that said, let's give this a shake. And we'll see how it tastes. Should be pretty good. And again, it says you can use your favorite rum. So I'm using a plantation rum tonight. Let's get that in there where you guys can see it. It's got a nice color though, doesn't it? Try not to overflow my petite glass here. Now this is just one serving. They give you the ingredients to make up to 4 servings for every drink. And the ingredients aren't very exotic, so you could always find your own version of those simple syrups and bitters and stuff too. So Catherine says, wow, that's a great box. And when you need to hydrate, so let me get the glass there, you guys can see it. Look at that color, especially with the lime. Oh, that looks great. So cheers to you guys. It's my first time trying it. Wow, it's really nice. Man. So with the lime, you get a little bit of sweetness. And then the orange and the grapefruit are really subtle. You just sort of taste citrus. But those pimento bitters, you get just a little spice on the tip of the tongue. That's a pretty tasty cocktail. I could see adding this into the regular rotation. Well, cheers to you guys. That's good. That's a winner. That is a winner. So that's one of the 3 from this month. The other thing I want to tell you guys about was on my trip, we got to stop at the Bamboo Room. Hopefully you can see. I'll get that as close as I can. The Bamboo Room Tiki Bar. It's kind of hidden. So there's a oyster bar called Sorry Charlie's in Savannah. And upstairs is the Bamboo Room. And I would say next to like Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, maybe some of the most elaborate tiki decorations I've ever seen. So on decorations, they definitely got a 10. This is the menu. They hooked me up with a copy of the menu that I could take with me. They have their own glassware. So here's one of their like Mai Tai glasses. Make sure you guys can see that. Real good. Can I get that close enough? There we go. The Bamboo Room. You can see it. So really nice looking 2-color Mai Tai glass, and they also have like a taller Hurricane glass with the same kind of artwork on it. And so they have those cocktails. Then they have 2 pages of cocktails that come in special tiki mugs, and all of those are available. You can just have the cocktail, or you can buy the mug as well. And then they have a list of like their classic tiki cocktails, and then beer and wine for people who don't like tiki, some virgin drinks, and then just all of the sort of like rums they keep on tap. So, Whitney says that's a good looking glass. Yeah, I really like the colors. I always love Mai Tai glasses, and this one, the designs aren't like overly complicated or detailed, but it's very attractive, and it looks good with the crushed ice and a drink in it and everything. So, if you get a chance, check out the Bamboo Room in Savannah, Georgia. It was really cool. We had gone to like a craft cocktail bar called the Artillery, which I would put very, very high on my list of places to go. And I'd asked one of the servers there. I was like, okay, is the Bamboo Room like it's kind of in a touristy part of town? I said, is it legit tiki bar or is it a tourist trap? And she basically said, you know what, it depends on the night of the week and who's there. So we gave it a shot, and we were not disappointed. I would give the decor a 10 out of 10. I would give the drinks that we had the night we were there 7 out of 10. Maybe a few of them were even 8 out of 10. So they were really good tiki drinks, and everybody in our party was happy. There was nobody who was disappointed. And then really the only kind of negative-y kind of things I would say is I thought the lighting was a little bright in there. It didn't have as much of an intimate feel as you would expect from a tiki bar. And the music didn't seem to go. There would be like one sort of tiki or Polynesian track, and then maybe like 4 like upbeat kind of disco-y kind of tracks. It just didn't seem to go. Didn't run our night or anything, but as someone who pays attention to music, it really seemed strange. So, but overall, it was a win. If you find yourself in Savannah, Georgia, the Bamboo Room Tiki Bar, pretty cool place. And they have a website, so if you see anything that you want, they were very generous with us and took really good care of us. So definitely worth checking out if you get the opportunity. So that's the show and tell from my trip. And so I thought it would be fun to actually draw one of the tiki mugs from the Bamboo Room tonight. This one is, what's the name of the drink that this one comes in? Let me see. This one is the Charlie Don't Surf. And it includes coconut rum, Amaro, and pineapple. So it's a little bit of the flavors of like a pina colada, but it doesn't really taste like a pina colada. It tastes more like a fresh juice cocktail. And their little tagline for the Charlie Don't Surf is, "There's nothing like the smell of Amaro and coconut in the morning." So that was a big hit. We really enjoyed that. Whitney says, "Tell them Octopolis sent you." Yeah, right. I'm sure they won't remember me, but yes, definitely tell them Octopolis sent you. So let's go ahead and let's dive in and draw ourselves a tiki mug tonight. And you guys can tell me everything that you've been up to while I've been away with birthdays and visits. Maybe you're getting out and about more now. Guys, seriously, that's a winner. So definitely check out Shaker and Spoon. Good stuff. All right, so let's get to drawing. Yeah, the tiki stuff has been so much fun. Oh, I forgot. I have a mug update for you guys tonight, so don't let me forget to give you the mug update before we're done here tonight. We can't go without it, right? It wouldn't be fair to make you guys wait for the mug update. Hot tiki mug news. But before we get to that, let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're drinking tonight. What's your cool beverage of the evening consist of? And maybe you've been vaccinated, maybe you're getting out, maybe some of the tiki bars around you have reopened. Let me know what's going on with you. I finally had the chance to catch a couple of television shows. So we watched the first episode of, what's it called? Jupiter's Legacy, is that right? With Josh Duhamel. First episode, pretty solid, pretty good. So looking forward to seeing what happens as the series progresses. But definitely like a couple of the characters already. That's always the test for me, you know. It's like if there's a new show and you don't like connect with one of the characters instantly, it's kind of hard for me to stay tuned into that. Like we watched, oh gosh, what's the new one on Netflix? Something in Bone. Saw the first episode of that, and like super high production values, like really elaborate CGI and stuff like that. But I really haven't connected with any of the characters yet, and so like I'm impressed with the way it looks. But you know, they're going to have to do something to like wow me, I guess, or make me like the characters. So I'll give it another episode or maybe two, but we'll see. But it's like stunning to look at, and like lots of interesting concepts and stuff there. So hopefully it'll come into its own. It'd be nice to see that happen. Whitney says, we went to a tiki bar. I had an old tiki fashion. So is that like just a rum old fashioned, or do they do something extra special to it? Inquiring minds want to know. Ash Corbin said, hey, shoulder surgery fun over here, no drinks for me. Oh, well, I mean, unless you're the one performing the shoulder surgery, maybe you need the drinks. I mean, I'm just saying, right? But yes, I hope that your shoulder surgery works out. That does not sound fun. I've never had a surgery, and I'm sure one day I will have to. Not looking forward to it. Whitney says, Katie had a Clover Beach, which was not good. Peated whiskey is a horrible option. Yeah, I'm not sure about peated whiskey in a tiki drink. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure when and if Quinch Press gets here, he could tell us how to make it work. But yeah, that seems like a pretty heavy, smoky flavor to make work in a tiki drink. Seems like it would be a little bit of a challenge, to say the least. I'm going to try and keep this one really like loose and gestural tonight. You know, this tiki mug was very... I'm told it's a replica or a reproduction of like a classic tiki mug called like it's either the Hawaiian orchid or the Polynesian orchid or something like that. And so I don't know if the originals were really loose or just the reproductions are, but I really want to keep this kind of sketchy and loose tonight to kind of pay homage to the mug itself. Whitney says, Netflix Mitchell's versus the Machines is awesome. Oh, you know what? I saw the title card for that come up, but I haven't got to check it out yet. But now that you've endorsed it, I'll definitely check it out. Oh, Whitney says the Tiki Old Fashioned was rum, bourbon, honey, tiki bitters, and I can't ever say it, Angostura bitters. I love it to in my drinks, but I can't say it. That is a good mix. I've had rum old fashions and I've had bourbon old fashions, but I haven't had one that had both. So that seems like a winning combination to me. Whitney says peated whiskey tastes like the way Band-Aids smell. Ooh. I mean, I've had some like really strong smoky whiskeys, and they're okay to sip, but I just couldn't imagine one in a tiki cocktail where you actually want to like drink it. So yeah, that does seem like an odd choice for sure. All right, I don't want to get too heavy-handed here yet. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, if you go to Scotland, there's just such a variety of flavor profiles. I mean, it's interesting, especially when the base is the same or similar, but it's all about how they're cooked and how they're aged and everything like that. It's kind of interesting, right? I thought maybe we'd do a bourbon or scotch night some night, but then it got to shaker and spoon and it was all rum based, so I was like, well, that worked out just right. But eventually we'll have to do that. We'll have to have like an all bourbon night or an all scotch night or something. I did see that the next shaker and spoon box is Tennessee, and it's all about making cocktails with Tennessee whiskeys. I was like, well, that's usually not my thing, so it might be interesting to try. Maybe I'll find something new I like. Who knows? I try to be open to the new experiences, Make an attempt to make an effort, something like that. Yeah, we'll see. So just going to do some variation on our thick and thin lines here. Give it a little bit more dimension, hopefully. But yeah, this is a fun cocktail. Christy got this one. We shared everything. Everybody in our group tasted everything, and this was a real winner. And even if you're not a pina colada person, having this sort of like fresh version of those flavors, I thought was nice, because I'm not usually a pina colada person. Usually too sweet for me, and I'm not always big on the frozen drinks. Once in a blue moon. So this was a nice alternative to that. But now, Whitney, what kind of whiskeys do you guys like? That's the question. We know what you don't like. It comes down to what you do like, right? And I saw that Chow Time was on Discord. I just missed him yesterday, looking for recommendations on Balvenies at a place they were at. But I'm sure by the time I answered him, he had already had his cocktail and moved on, because I just missed him. But I think Balvenie is one of my favorite Scotch whiskeys, but there's so many varietals that you have to really pay attention, because, like, in my opinion, the 12-year-old and 15-year-old Balvenies aren't really worth the premium that they charge at most bars in America, because you could just as soon have like a Woodford Reserve or something, and it would be pretty similar. But now once you get to like the 14-year-old Double Woods and the 17-year-old Caribbean Cask and the 21-year-olds, like, now they get to be like really special, and they have like amazing flavor profiles. And so it's interesting, like even like a bourbon or a whiskey or a scotch that you like, it may be like certain years of aging you like better than others, or certain ones you find to be like worth it, and others you're like, nah, that's not really worth it. So it's kind of interesting. Whitney says Katie likes apple whiskey. I'm still learning, so I don't know if I have a favorite. I did have this Canadian whiskey aged in rum barrels. That was delicious. Oh, Katie, I should see if I can find this cocktail that I had. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me just a second. I had it around my birthday, so maybe about a month ago. I snapped a picture because it was so good of the recipe, so I should be able to find it. Here we go. So the cocktail I had was, here we go. It's called the Frontier Psychiatrist. I know I talked about it that day. It's Elijah Craig bourbon, apple brandy, Averna, and cinnamon and vanilla. And I was really concerned that the apple brandy would be too strong and too appley. It doesn't tell me the proportions of what they used, but it was perfect. So if you like bourbon and you like apple, it was a really, really nice flavor profile. Subtle, perfect for when you're sitting in the evening just chilling. It was a really, really nice cocktail. So that one's called the Frontier Psychiatrist. Highly recommended. I really enjoyed it. All right. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Pseudo for I am root. That's pretty funny when you say it out loud. Pseudo for I am root says, I like bourbon, wheated bourbon, and rye. Oh, yeah. Rye can be an acquired taste for sure, but if you find one that you like, they're so good, and especially obviously the classic Sazerac is a good rye drink. You can even do like a rye old fashioned. I mean, there's so many interesting ways to use rye, and it's in the sort of like whiskey bourbon family, but it just has its own unique flavors. It's almost got some like grassiness to it and stuff. So really cool. Hey Pseudo, is there like a specific rye cocktail that you like, or are you just more like a fan of like sipping rye? Or I know some people like rye in their cocktails, and other people like can't stand rye in their cocktails. Just the flavor just doesn't blend enough for them, I guess, or something. I have another friend who he only has his rye cocktail like after work, and the rest of the time it's bourbon or scotch. But that's like his like after work ritual. Suda says, I will sip it neat or on a rock. Oh yeah, that sounds good. So you like the spirit then. That's good. Oh, and Katie, be sure and let us know how your stream's going. I talked to someone who said they got to see your stream just the other day. I said, well, that's exciting. But yeah, let us know how it's going. How are you enjoying Twitch? Hopefully you're streaming more regular than I am now. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown with these big projects that I have going on. But I'm trying to stick to a schedule, It's definitely been a challenge. I did so good during COVID sticking to a schedule, but now I have so many different things like vying for my attention that it's kind of nuts. Try to pretty up this mermaid a little bit, or I guess she's just a girl in a bikini. I guess she's not a mermaid, but on the actual sculpt of the mug, there's not much to her face, so tried to at least give her some like identifiable features, But on the mugs, when they're trying to do like the multicolor glazes and stuff like that, such a challenge. And Quinch Press should be joining us later, he said, but he had like a meeting or something, so I wouldn't be surprised if we miss him altogether. Catherine says the stream's going well. Made affiliate. Streaming 4 times a week. Some days are easier than others, with more people to chat with. Yeah, I hear you. The days when like nobody shows up or very few people show up, those are hard. You got to just chat to yourself, right? And you look up and you see the 1 or the 0 or whatever for the number of people on your stream, and you're just like, do I keep going? I guess I keep going. Catherine says, I did a birthday stream last night and it was a ton of fun. Oh, I'm sorry I missed that. So sorry I missed that. That does sound like it would have been a good time. Well, I'm back now, and I am overburdened with deadlines, but I will try to make one of your streams for sure as soon as I can. I'm gonna have a panic attack or stress attack or something here pretty soon, but trying to hold it off. You know, they announced that San Diego Comic-Con is going to be virtual again, and so they want Christy and I to do like an iPad art panel, so that'll be fun. And then one of the galleries wants me to do some Simpsons art for San Diego, and then someone else wants me to do a comic book cover that needs to be done before then, and that's on top of my big Smithsonian project. I just don't know if I can survive it, but I don't want to let anybody down, you know. That's really what it comes down to. I want to come through for everyone if I can. So we'll try to make it work. That'll be the goal, at least. Try to make it work. So of course this is sculpted for real, so I'm just doing a few little thick and thin lines here and there just to give an idea of how things can look. So just jumping back and forth between the brush pen and the fine line. Give it a little bit of character. But yeah, that birthday stream, that sounds like fun. Hope you had a really good one. Yeah, my birthday was last month, and I gotta say it was so. I hope yours was better than last year, because that's what I was just thinking about. It was like, you know, gosh, last year it was so strange. Everything was locked down. Couldn't really, you know, go anywhere or do anything. Could hardly get groceries. So, what a difference a year makes, right? It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Catherine says, I drew stickers, did giveaways, and I ate cake. Oh, that sounds like fun. So are you drawing stickers that you're making for your fans and followers and stuff? That's pretty cool. I like that idea. I think that's a good one. Everybody loves stickers. Yeah, I've got to get over to your channel and check out like your emotes and stuff too. Hopefully after July, my life will get a little bit back to normal, a little more stable. Oh, thanks for following Banana and 1818. I hope I said that right, but thank you so much for following. We've got some good ones in here tonight. Good to see you guys. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Brian Miller. I'm an artist for Star Wars and Disney and DC Comics and all kinds of fun stuff. And once a week for Tiki Tuesday, we get together and we catch up on our favorite tiki bars and tiki drinks. And I usually draw something tiki related. So let me know what kind of cold beverage you're enjoying tonight, or even if you're not, what you wish you were. And I'll take a moment to say cheers to all of you. Tonight's cocktail is the Hemingway by Shaker and Spoon. Very tasty. Very, very good. Catherine says, last year's birthday was hard. First year away from the family. Today was awesome. 4 vaccinated friends having drinks and eating. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't it nice to be able to get together and see friends? That's what we were, you know, Christy had this big tennis event we were just at, and, you know, I got to see all of her tennis people that I haven't seen in a year, and we had a couple of our friends there as well. And the nice thing about Hilton Head is most of the dining is outside, and I mean, we're all vaccinated, but still it makes it a little bit easier. And even though South Carolina had recently rescinded their mask rule, Hilton Head Island was still enforcing theirs. There were like big signs as you entered the island saying like, you must have your mask if you're indoors here and stuff. And all the restaurants and stuff did it. So it seemed really smart and really nice, and we had a good time. And it felt almost normal, which was kind of cool, right? Almost normal. Catherine says, I was making mainly neon stickers I want to get printed. Well, Catherine, make sure and check out Sticker Mule. I know there's a lot of other options, but they've been good for me so far. I don't know about neon, but Chow Time was just saying that one of the stickers that came from Patreon was like fading and stuff for him, so I may have to remove that option on Patreon and just switch over to using the stuff that I have made at Sticker Mule, because I've never had a problem with any of them fading or peeling, especially in like a short amount of time like that. It was like less than 6 months, so it seems to definitely make a difference who you work with. But I've had good luck with them. Another option might be like Printful. They're a little pricier per piece, and I don't know if they do neon, but I like Sticker Mule. They do good. Their online tools to make your stickers are really nice, and they seem to print and ship like faster than they say they're going to, which is always a bonus. Whitney says, I'm not streaming and I'm overwhelmed with all the setup for Twitch, especially if you want all the things, sounds and games and emotes and subscriber badges. And that's not counting the cameras and mics and all the Streamlabs settings. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm using my built-in webcam for me, and then it's my iPhone for the artwork. But like you said, even then, just, I still have to have like an app on my phone to make it work. And I've got my microphone that I've told you guys about before, the Fifine, and it works so much better than the old Snowball mic that I had before, even though Snowball's like supposed to be one of the best mics. So yeah, just all the tech stuff, it's a lot of work to get it going, and you could spend a fortune, that's for sure, like lighting especially. So I just look for bargains when I can find them, because I can't afford to throw a ton of money at it either. All right, let's start to think about some shading. Some shading. Banana Anna 1818 says, I wish I was drinking a Captain's Mai Tai poolside at a resort, but instead my dogs are snoring. It's already super humid in Southwest Florida, so I'm avoiding having a cocktail on our lanai. Well, cheers to you anyway. I hope you enjoy a cool beverage when you get a chance on your lanai, or even inside in the air conditioning. That's pretty tasty. Speaking of lighting, let's get the light on the artwork to look a little better. There we go. Doesn't do me any favors, but the artwork looks better. Right? That's what's important. Who cares what I look like? When he says, I always forget about the Patreon stickers, always a surprise when they arrive, and they never say they're from you. Well, thanks, Patreon, for that. When he says, I really dislike that you can't test things out without actually broadcasting. Well, you can record, so you can just hit the record button. But yeah, some of the widgets and stuff you can't test out without broadcasting. And I still can't get my sound alerts back because of that software update that happened so long ago. And the company that makes the sound plugin that made it all work, all they have on their website is like, we're working on it, stay patient. I'm like, well, that doesn't really help anybody. So what are you really doing about it? Because everyone, paid for your product and service, and of course, admittedly, Streamlabs and Twitch aren't much better. They're like, we're working on a solution for Mac. I'm like, sure you are. And let's throw Apple under the bus while we're at it, because they're clearly not making it easy for the developers to do multi-audio. I mean, I understand it's a small number of users who need that feature, but for those of us that do, right, it should work. It's got to have something to do with iTunes or music royalties or something, right? They don't want people to be able to like hijack and record audio or something. I'm sure that's what it comes down to. It's always about money, right? Anytime there's something you can't do with your computer, it's because someone's afraid, because some other person used that feature in some bad way, right? Banana Anna 1818 says, I appreciate the cheers. Hey, anytime. That's what we're here for. Have a good time. Cheers it up. Enjoy the cocktails. Make a mess with magic markers. That's what I'm good at. All right. Speaking of magic markers, what do we want tonight? 40%, 30%, 40% maybe? That's a 50. We could start with that. Why not? Whitney Redeemed to Hydrate. Cheers to you guys. When I finish this one, I'll just do like a rum old fashioned or something, only because it's not that complicated, but I never made it before, so I haven't memorized yet. Still good. Still good. That's going into the rotation, without a doubt. So the other two cocktails that came in this box this month are kind of interesting. I was going to try one tonight, but you have to pre-make the cold brew coffee 12 hours in advance. It's called the Don't Tell Richard. And you take this coconut water that they give you and this cold brew coffee that they give you, and you brew the coffee with the coconut water instead of regular water to make a coconut cold brew. And then it has like banana and orange and some other stuff in it. So it sounds really good. So I'm going to be trying that in the next day or two. And then the third cocktail is really strange. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but I'm interested to try it. It's called the Sea Fog. And it says it has umami flavors inspired by like sushi. And it's essentially a version of the Dark and Stormy, but with nori-infused flavors. And it even comes with some yuzu soda and some like crisp seaweed pieces to put in there. Oh, and some candied ginger. So some really interesting stuff in that one, worth checking out. But that's the drinks that came in this box. But tonight's the Hemingway, so really enjoying that. And again, not a commercial. They're not paying me. I just got the box in the mail and was excited to share it with you guys. So it's definitely not sponsored content. I wish it was. If you guys are out there, call me up. Let's hook Catherine up while we're at it. We could all ride the Twitch gravy train that all the like super cool kids are on. Alright, so let's start out with this 50% gray, and I think I'll just blend it down. This is like a scooped out part of the mug where the surfer girl is in there. So I'll just do a little bit of this, and I'll blend it into like the next lighter value there. Do I have a referral link? Yeah. So I shared it earlier, but let me just share it again real quick. All right, here we go. Now, I don't get any money, but if you guys use my referral link, I get a discount on my next box. So that's how they do it, which would be much appreciated. So thank you. And I noticed like you don't have to do a monthly subscription. You can just pick which boxes you want. So like if the next one's Tennessee, but the next one was like say vodka and you didn't like vodka, you can just tell me you want to skip that month and then wait until you see the next one you want. So, and then there's like a window each month of when you have to like click the thing to get the one they're offering. So it seems really easy to understand, which is good. But I like how flexible they are because, some of those like box of the month things are so crazy and they want you to like, they make it impossible to like skip or unsubscribe. And this is more like, hey, just do one box. We don't care. Like no hard pressure at all. Catherine says, I would like to get on that train. Yeah, I hear you, Catherine. I was looking at my subscriber numbers and I was like, oi, I think my best months, I was up in like the 30s on subscribers, and I'm down to like 7 right now. That's partially on me. I'm just not streaming near as much as I was. But I also think partially there's just a lot more people on Twitch than there were, even a year ago. And so there's just a lot more things for people to do and see. And, also I think that now that some things are reopening, there might be people not leaving Twitch, but not watching Twitch as much as they were before. So we'll see. But I think I'm doing this not for any kind of money or anything like that, but just to hang out with you guys, really. So having subscribers and getting a little bonus and stuff, it definitely helps and it feels good. But at this point, that's definitely not like my motivation or anything. If anything, I'd just like to grow my audience and grow my following, more than anything. Like Quench Press and I talked about this quite a bit, that all the galleries and stuff that I work with, it used to be they were just looking for unique artists and they kind of judged everything based on the artwork. And now it seems to be more like, hey, how many Instagram followers do you have? Like that kind of thing. Because it's easier for them to sell out the artwork if you as an artist have, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 Instagram followers, which I do not. And I really didn't focus a lot of my attention on those things because I was just making artwork all the time. And now since COVID, the world's really changed and all the numbers really make a big difference now. And so, I'm less concerned with, like trying to monetize followers or anything like that, and just making real connections with people and growing like authentic followers. I think that's more important. So, we'll see what happens. But if you pay attention to my social media, you'll probably notice you haven't seen like any sort of like ads or buy from me stuff or anything like that. I did put like one out for Star Wars Day, but I'm really just trying to just be authentic and just share my art and make real connections with people. I think that's kind of the most important thing that I can do, and then we'll see what happens. When he says, I'm all for easy. When he says, I also think more people are going back to work, so they're not watching like before. And then when he says, which you just said. Catherine says, yeah, Whitney and I talked about that I'm doing stuff anyway. Might as well do it on Twitch with others. Agreed, 100%. That's how I look at it. And like, Christy's school is going to go back to in person. So any of the streams that she and I had been doing would all have to end anyway. And that's kind of what my approach is right now, is like I'm just trying to take the things that I need to do anyway and that I'm allowed to share with people and do those things. So, maybe I'll open up sketch commissions again after the big project with Smithsonian is done. I've just been doing a few here and there, and I think that works out really well. But I'm not inventing like extra work for myself right now, But I was talking to some like, not art influencer, but someone who has like, 300,000 Instagram followers. And they gave me that same advice. They were like, don't invent work for yourself. Just do what it is that you're already going to do and share it with people, and hopefully they'll like it. So I hope that's the case. You guys know I'm not super savvy on winning people over on social media. So just make my stuff, and hopefully people will see it and find it. It's really all I can do. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're having some good success, Catherine. That's really exciting. It's so nice to see people, strike out on their own and lift themselves up and say, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give this a shot. My grandfather was a really big influence on me as a kid. He was always telling me that kind of stuff. He's like, figure out what you can do for yourself. Figure out the things that you can do that you're not, necessarily reliant on like that one company or that one thing, So I try to think about those things and apply that when I can. All right, this little bikini girl, she's starting to come together. So tasty. So good. Just try to get a little bit of shading going on her, so we can see a little bit of shape in her body. I'm telling you, the lowness of this beach towel or whatever she's got on, that's pretty risque for 1940, whatever this original thing was sculpted in, right? But I guess it was wartime. They were like, we'll be as risque as we want because we might not be here tomorrow. I think that was kind of the prevailing attitude, right? I don't know. I wasn't there. Thank goodness. This is fun. I haven't got to play with markers in a while, so this is it feels very therapeutic, very zen-like to just get in here and noodle around with some markers. Banana Anna 1818 just subscribed. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And hey Whitney, now that you're a Streamlabs master and QuenchPress isn't here yet, would you mind doing the social command on the chat so that all my social info will come up? And that's just as a reminder to anybody who's on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, if you want to follow me and see the artwork I post and stuff, where to find it at. We'll make thank you, Whitney. Whitney will be our honorary moderator until QuenchPress comes back up. And we don't see too much of Let's Do This lately, which is kind of sad. Like, he was always here all the time, and I still see him on Instagram, but I haven't seen him on the stream in a long time. Very sad. Banana 1818 says, love the Space Mountain post on Instagram. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I am. That's a weird story. Well, first of all, I'm just a fan of Disney stuff, but I did that. I was working on a Tomorrowland themed project with Disney, where I was the colorist painter on, and there was a kid in the story who had a poster in his bedroom, and the artist had just drawn like a rectangle where the poster would go, and so I was like, well, I will make some artwork to put in there, and the editor said it was okay, and so I did that, and then have a few little convention prints here and there. So yeah, it was fun to do. I'm a fan, and the rocket ship was originally sponsored by TWA, and my father was an airline mechanic for TWA, and we lived in California when I was a kid, so he was there like when they installed that rocket ship and stuff. So a little bit of a personal connection to that as well. So always one of my favorite parts of the park. So thank you for checking that out. I really appreciate it. I love all the Disney stuff. Tomorrowland and Haunted Mansion especially. And I just found out that one of my friends who is a Imagineer was like one of the main driving people on the Haunted Mansion Muppets thing that'll be coming out on Disney Plus. So that'll be this fall. So definitely like keep an eye out for that. That's going to be really cool. And I'm so excited for her and her team that they managed to get that whole project done pretty much in secrecy, you know. So that was pretty cool. I get caught up on the chat here just a second, guys. Catherine, deemed to hydrate. Oh, cheers to you, Catherine. This might be the last little sip in here. So good. Got it. Definitely got those like pimento spicy bitters at the end too. That was nice. Whitney says, yeah, Brian has some really fun artwork out there. Oh, thank you, Whitney. Banana 1818 says, we just added our first piece by Brian to our collection, Star Wars piece featuring our favorite planet, Hoth. I'm super excited to learn more. Oh, great. Thank you for picking that up. Excellent. Did you get that from me, or did you get it from like Dark Ink Art or one of the like retailers? It doesn't matter. I'm just curious. Always interested to know how people find me these days, especially during lockdown and stuff when I haven't done a Comic-Con or a Disney park visit or a D23 or anything in over a year. I'm kind of wondering like how those events are going to come back and what it's going to be like and all of that, you know. I see a few Comic-Cons being advertised and stuff, but I don't know. You know, will people go back in the hundreds of thousands or not? I guess we'll find out. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, thanks for picking up that Star Wars piece. I have so much fun with that. So sad that Star Wars Celebration had to be virtual, and I guess it wasn't even really virtual. It was just some of the merch was available, so kind of missed seeing all my Star Wars friends and buddies and artists and everything this last year. I definitely missed sharing my Star Wars art with people at Epcot this year. That was so sad. It was always one of the like highlights of the year for me, is that Festival of the Arts, and what a bummer, right? So hopefully 2022 will bring a lot of that stuff back. Banana Anna 1818 says, we got it from Dark Ink. We need a companion piece for something we got when we met Danny Haas at Epcot. Excellent. Danny is one of the best. I'm so glad you guys got to meet Danny. That's fantastic. One of the best. And yeah, I definitely find that Danny, people who like my art, like Danny's art and like Steve Thomas's art, like pretty much that's just like a guaranteed thing, right? So which is good, because I think we share a lot of the similar fans, and a lot of people say that, oh, we collect it all, or we collect, you know, some of his and some of yours, and he's such a great guy. Steve Thomas is too. They're both really great. And I remember Danny being an Ahsoka fan long before anybody got real excited about Ahsoka, so much so that like even other artists would be like, oh gosh, why does he bother trying to make all that Ahsoka stuff happen, you know? And then boom, Mandalorian happens and Ahsoka gets really popular. So I'm so happy for him that he's been able to, you know, take a character that he's always been passionate about and be associated with that now, because that doesn't always happen, right? When things get popular, sometimes the people who are the true fans get, you know, pushed out of the way a little bit, and that didn't happen, so that's really exciting. because he deserves it. He's so talented. That's another reason I miss Star Wars Celebration. Whitney says, one of my coworkers had a great Hoth joke. What temperature is a tauntaun? I'm going to say the answer has to be lukewarm, but it is a great joke. It is a great joke. Speaking of Star Wars art, I don't know if you guys saw Joe Caroni's new Boba Fett piece that came out on Star Wars Day. Man, what a gorgeous piece of artwork. I was just like, I've known Joe for years, but I was just like, wow. He really nailed it. It looks so good. So excited to see him do that. Got our little leaves here. Well, hopefully after I get this big project done, between now and July, which is sneaking up, boy, is it sneaking up, I'll be able to reopen my sketch list and start doing a lot more like Star Wars sketches and stuff again too. So, I'm doing a few here and there. So, those of you that know me personally, if you want something done, I'll probably do it for you. But I'm not like officially accepting commissions right now. I'm not looking. I guess that's what I'll say. I'm not looking for commissions. So, but I'll squeeze them in here and there. So, all right. Banana Anna 1818 says, I was sad about Celebration, but one of my friends usually has pieces there, Stephen Hayford. Oh, I love Stephen. Stephen's great. So I was able to get one of his prints that was made for Star Wars Celebration that ended up going virtual without going. Yeah, Stephen's stuff. Man, you have good taste. Good taste. You really can't go wrong with any of the Celebration artists, right? Handpicked by Lucasfilm, so that's going to be a winner, but it's always nice to hear what people like. Oh, and I see that we all guessed Whitney's joke, but that's okay because it's a good one. It's worth repeating. It's worth repeating. So what do I do with my 30%? So no color tonight. Just doing a little grayscale marker sketch, but that's all right. I thought it'd be fun. Hadn't played with markers in a while. And a good time to share some stuff with you guys. You know what I think, before we're done, I need to give you an update on our mugs. So first of all, you won't be surprised to hear that I haven't heard anything about the Tipsy Rum Barrel mug. So I don't know. Last I heard, the ceramics were done and it was going to have a test firing on the glazes, and that's all I know. So it seems strange I haven't got any more updates, but that's what I know about that one. But on the Witch Doctor's Potion, I got to see the first draft of the first sculpt, and I got to tell you guys, it's looking pretty cool. Few little tweaks that need to be made here and there, but that's what happens when you've got a sculptor who's interpreting your artwork, right? You do a two-dimensional drawing, and they're trying to figure out how to make your thing into 3D. So there's a few little things that'll have to be changed around, but it's really, really on the right track. So I don't know what the time frame is going to be on that, but theoretically, the next revision of the sculpt should be the final. And that's the one with the three witch doctors on it. So, knock on wood, that will be sooner rather than later. And I know that's going to be a 2-color glaze, and there will probably be 2 different options. So, one will be 2 colors, and the other one will be 2 other colors. So, I don't know the timeline, but I've seen the first sculpt, so that's really exciting. So those 2 are in progress, and then the Octo Tiki is not on hold by any means, but I probably won't finish the newest design until this big project is over. And then there's a 4th one that I haven't told you guys about yet, and we'll draw that live sometime in the future. So it should be really, really fun. Whitney says, what are you whatting about, Whitney? Catherine says, totally awesome. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. yeah, that's the Tiki mug update. So at least there's some news this time, as opposed to like no news is good news. But I'll be interested to see if the witch doctor's potion actually gets made and in people's hands before the other one, because who knows at this point. But like I always say, I was warned ahead of time. Everyone's like, these Tiki mugs take forever, and that's definitely been true so far. They do seem to take forever. So we'll see. But it was exciting to see the sculpt, and I'll definitely share with you guys as soon as I have something more definitive to share with you. How about that? But it's coming together, and I was always happy with the design on that. And you put it into someone else's hands when they're sculpting it, and let them interpret your artwork. And so I'm trying to be like the kind of person who can just like let the artwork go and let the other person do their thing with it, and not be too heavy-handed. So when I gave my feedback, I'm like, here's the things that I think are really important to change, and then here's a couple of other things that would be on my wish list. But it's a collaboration, and so they have to have room to put their own spin on it too. And so hopefully I'm giving them, the sculptor, the room they need to do their part. So that's the goal. I think all the time I've spent in comic books have really hopefully helped me be a better collaborator, where I'm just not like, it's my way or the highway, that kind of stuff. Whitney says, what the, haven't heard anything about the Tiki mug. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's really strange, right? Like, I need to go back and see what the date is. I can probably look right now and see when we actually started that mug, because it's kind of crazy, right? So let's just take a look here. So Tiki, and so that's the Tipsy Rum Barrel mug. Tipsy. Where's it at? For Tiki Tango. Here we go. So looks like the final design on that was somewhere in September, right? So the final design, we drew it on the channel before that, but the final design was in September, and it was originally supposed to go on pre-order for Black Friday, but as of now, I saw the first 3D version of the sculpt, and then was told it was all finished and good and being fired, but I haven't seen anything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm just the artist, so the bar, Tiki Tango, they're the client, so it's up to them to make it all happen. Whitney says, wonder if the guy who sculpts the Tiki mugs is the same guy who makes book slip cases from this one particular publisher, since they take forever to happen. That's funny. Well, there's really only, seems like, 2 major Tiki mug companies in the United States, but I'm sure they have most of their, well, I don't know. I would assume they have most of the ceramics done overseas. So maybe that's where the holdup is, but I'm just not 100% sure. So anyway, crazy, right? Well, thanks for coming back to Tiki Tuesday, guys. Thanks for sharing a little bit of the Bamboo Room with me. Had fun drawing this one tonight. Don't forget to check out Shaker and Spoon if you want to check out a cocktail box. Again, not a commercial. They're not paying me. I just tried it out. I thought it was cool. And be sure to check out Octopolis.com. I have some new War of the Worlds art that's coming out. So you can be one of the first people to scoop that up if you're interested. So I can throw that link in real quick as well, just so you can see it. This is a companion piece to the 20,000 Leagues that I had done a while back. But this is the first time it's ever been offered up for sale. So if you like sci-fi, just take a look, check it out, and use the code MARS10 at checkout and save 10%. That'll be kind of broadcast out to the Collectors Club next week, so you guys can be the first to check it out if you want to. Catherine cheered 6 bits. Thank you, Catherine. Well, since you cheered, I guess we have to run the credits now because you'll probably be in the credits. So let's just take a few seconds to do that, and then we'll come right back. So hold on for just a few seconds. Woohoo! It went by a little fast. Should we do it again? Should we do the credits again? It's reverted back to that Star Wars credits. Let's do it one more time. Let's count it down. Go, credits, go. Oh, they're busted. Man, what a bummer. Okay. Whitney, can you get on Streamlabs and fix that? I don't know what happens, but the credits seem to break every once in a while. I'm going to try it one more time. If it doesn't work, we'll just give up. Are you guys seeing anything on your end? Because I'm not. All right. Well, that's a bummer. We had good credits tonight, too. Silly Streamlabs. It's always something. Panini says, am I late? Yeah, we're at the very end tonight. Sorry. It was a little bit of a shorter stream, but come back next Tuesday. And this Thursday, I'm not drawing, but I'll probably be drawing again next week, too. So, yeah, the light speed version, right? I don't know. All this stuff breaks all the time. It's crazy. I'm going to look for somebody to raid. Don't forget. Oh, do you guys like puppy art? I like this guy's channel, Freakmeister. Maybe we'll raid him. Of course, it makes me watch the commercial. But no, we're having fun. We're drawing. It's all good. We're having a good time. Cocktails and art. You can't go wrong with that. Right? So don't forget, you get 250 channel points. Yeah, let's raid the dog art guy. He's good. I like his stuff. It'll be something totally different. So, first of all, thanks for your likes. Thanks for your follows. Thanks for your subscriptions. Thanks for everybody who supports me on Patreon too. Would not be here without you guys. So thank you so much. And we're going to raid here in just a few seconds. So I'm going to go with you.